In the beginning, there was only Guningap, the great yawning void. Natural yaw abhors a vacuum. And soon, ice came in from Nilfheim, and lava and fire came in from Muspelheim. And these two came together and created the first three beings. You might think this is all crazy, but that's exactly how it works. Two opposites come together and they create life. Think about a man and a woman. They are also very opposite, yet they come together. Life is created. The first being was Ymir, the first giant. He got his nourishment from the first cow, Amdula, which also came from the water that came from all the melted ice in Guningap. That cow fed itself on a giant block of ice that came from that very same water, and after licking long enough on that block of ice, the first god, Buri, appeared. Buri is, of course, grandfather to Odin, because after Buri came Bor, and after Bor came Odin. But Odin did not come alone. He had two brothers, Ville and Ve. At that time, the giant Ymir, well, he had started to multiply, and Odin and his brothers did not like this. We are outnumbered. So they devised a plot to kill the first giant, Ymir. They waited until he was asleep, and they all three attacked him. It was a vicious battle, because it was extremely difficult to kill him. But kill him, they did. After the battle, they killed the other giants except two. Two giants fled, and all other giants are their descendants. So after they killed this giant, they killed Ymir, they dragged him to the center of Guningap. And out of his flesh, they made the world that we inhabit today. The flesh of Ymir became the earth. His teeth became the rocks. His blood became the river and the ocean you see behind me. His skull, his dome, holds up the sky. That's how big it is. Out of this decaying corpse of Ymir, worms started to crawl, and these worms, they transformed into the dwarves. Odin, Ville and Ve gave them a task. One dwarf at each sacred wind direction, to hold up Ymir's skull so it may never come down. Now, when I first read this myth, it seemed very otherworldly. It seemed very strange. Yet I want to delve deeper into the meaning of this myth. Because, let's be honest, if you're new to this channel, hi, my name is Rainy. I'm a pagan living in Holland. And I delve deep within the meaning of myths. At first I couldn't figure it out. But then I started to look at, let's just look at the names of the protagonists of this story. First of all, this video is called The Killing of Ymir, but it's not actually about the killing of Ymir. This tale is actually a tale of creation. It's a creation myth. So maybe this story has some info on how we can create our own world, as Odin, Ville and Ve did with our world. You know, Odin is the All-Father. You know, when you come in this world, you have a father, and that father built the house or bought the house that you come in. And the All-Father has created this house that we come in. So maybe when we reach some type of maturity, we can create our own world, and maybe this myth can help us create our own world. Well, let's dive right into it. Let's not tease you any longer. The three protagonists are called Odin, Ville, and Ve. Now, Ville and Ve can be translated to will and the sacred place. And Odin, well, if you take the old Germanic name, Wodanas, it can be translated to fury. Fury and possibly also madness. So I think what this story is an initiation into the magic of creation. Because if you want to create something, you need three ingredients. You need your will to will it into being. You need a sacred place to do it in a good and sacred way. And you need fury. Now, why do you need fury? You need fury to power your will. What I also like about this myth, it's creating something. But in Norse mythology, everybody knows that you can't get something out of nothing. You just can't. You can't just get on your knees and pray. I don't think it works like that. This myth tells you that everything you need to do, everything you need to have in order to create something new is already here. You don't have to go there, you don't have to go there, you don't have to go there, you don't have to... You have to go anywhere. Everything is already here. I strongly feel that way. Because some people want to create something and they try to create it, but life isn't moving for them, you know? Life isn't moving at all. And the answer is to get something moving in here. Because if you get it moving in here, things will start moving out there. That's what I believe. And I think that's what this myth teaches us also. So we know what Odin, Ville, and Ve is. A magical formula to initiate you in the magic of creation. But who is Ymir? Who is your Ymir? That's a better question. Because in this story, Ymir is something that's been alive for a very long time, and it keeps growing and it keeps multiplying. I think Ymir could be that part of yourself. If you want to find out how to truly create and how to truly walk your way forward in life, what you need to do is you can just, before going to bed, you can just sit on the edge of your bed, just like I'm sitting, put your feet firmly on the ground, and you have to mean this. You have to mean it. Ask yourself, what could I do better? What am I avoiding? What is the thing that I know I should be doing, but I'm not doing? If your question is from the heart, you will get an answer. You won't like your answer, but you'll get an answer. That answer is your Ymir. You know, I always think of like Ymir and stories like this. I see it a bit of like addiction. But when I say addiction, most people think, oh, just alcohol and drugs. No, I don't think an addiction is just alcohol and drugs. I think that's that part of you that you've outgrown, that you know that you can and you must leave behind. That's your Ymir. Maybe you're addicted to getting rejected. You say, don't be stupid, I'm not addicted, I don't want that at all. But somehow there are people who just keep creating that same cycle and that same cycle. Too much of anything can make you an addict. So I think Ymir is a symbol for that part of yourself that you have to kill. And why is this a giant? Well, if you're on this journey and you try to kill that part of yourself, you find out it's a giant. You find out you're gonna need your two brothers. You're gonna find out it's gonna take everything you have. But if you finally kill with your will in a sacred place and with your fury, if you can kill that part of yourself, you have the ground materials to build a brand new world just for you. I think that is the meaning of the killing of Ymir, the Norse creation myth. Just as I'm closing this video off, there's a lovely little boat just closing on. If anybody wonders where I'm filming it, I'm at the village of Bisserup in Denmark. I'm on holiday. So, if you like what I do here, please consider giving this a thumbs up. And I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this. And I'll see you next week on a new episode of Delving in the Myths on the Dutch Pagans YouTube channel. Good night. It's peaceful here, man. I'm just leaving this camera rolling because I need the viewing hours. Viewing hours on my analytics on my channel are shit. So thanks for watching. See you next week.